So the first reason why you will probably never make even a penny at this is that you can research SEO and AdSense and keywords and all that kind of internet stuff, and you could try to figure out how to drive people to your channel and what are the things that are going to make people come back and subscribe and like your videos and stuff like that. But there is absolutely no rhyme or reason to any of it, because if you notice, there are people who are doing these incredible videos that, you know, look like short films with this really expensive equipment, and they have 20 million followers, or they have 3 followers, and then there are people who are just sitting here looking at the camera talking about makeup or cooking or Instacart or whatever they're talking about, which is all fine, and they're just looking at the camera, no B-roll, no nothing, and they have 1 million followers or 7 followers, like their mother, their sister, their cousin. Like, you have no idea how it works, because there's this thing called the algorithm, and nobody knows how to figure that out. Nobody knows who controls it. Nobody knows anything. And in order for you to have the opportunity to make money at this, to be able to monetize your channel, you need to have certain things in place. But don't count on understanding why it's not going to happen, like why it's going to happen or why it's not going to happen, because you'll never figure that out. So you might get the opportunity to make money, or you might not. However, having said that, it's a good idea to research everything, to learn everything. It's always good to learn, but just don't count on it. So that's one reason why you will probably never make money at this, ever. Like, personally, I don't have a lot of subscribers, and I have absolutely no idea how it works, and I look at all these random channels doing different random things, and it's really hard to understand why certain people have 23,000 followers or 26 million subscribers or whatever. It's just hard to figure out. So that's the first reason. All right, so the second reason you probably will never make any money at this, and I'm including myself, is because it might be too late. Like, if you notice, some of these bigger YouTubers, they've been doing this for years. You know, a lot of them have been doing it for, 5 years, 10 years, 8 years, 2 years at the minimum. I mean, it might be too late, because everybody and their mother now is trying to be a YouTuber and trying to make money, and we're all looking for, easier ways to make side money so we can live our lives in the way that we want to live our lives. And so, I don't know. I think the law of averages says that not everybody can earn a living being a YouTuber, just like not everybody can earn a living being a celebrity vocalist or actor or the best physicist in the world. If that's what you do, you can't be the guy who's on CNN all the time. You might just have a regular job being a physicist, and so it just might be too late. It might not be too late, but it might be too late. And the thing is, you have to dedicate an incredible amount of time to this, and you have to really try to do all the research and put out videos constantly, be really consistent. And so, are you willing to take that chance? That's the second reason why you might not ever make any money, but you have to think about how much time you're willing to put into this to at least try. That's the second reason. It might be too late. All right, so the third reason is you might not have the time to do this, to do what it takes to get to the point where you're actually being able to monetize your channel, to have enough subscribers and enough watched hours and all those things. Who's got the time to figure all that out in the interim? I mean, unless you're like 17 years old and you're still living at home. If you're a grown human being, out here earning a living, having to pay rent or pay mortgage, if you have kids, if you have a life, do you really have the time to dedicate to doing this in a way that will get you to the point where you can make legitimate money to earn a living? I mean, think about it. You have to do all the research. You have to figure out titles. You have to figure out content. You have to, if you're a filmmaker, you have to figure out how to be a filmmaker, how to make great videos, how to do great B-roll. You have to figure so much stuff out. And if you're not a filmmaker, you have to figure out the expertise of whatever your niche is, or niche, or whatever you want to call it. You have to spend a lot of time watching other people. You might not have the time. So that's something to think about too, because, I think anything of value, any kind of goal that you want to reach that, is of any kind of meaning or makes any kind of sense requires a certain amount of time. How they talk about you have to put in your 10,000 hours to get, to become like a master at something, which I'm going to get to in a second. But that's the third reason you might never make 1 penny doing this, is because you just might not have the time. Although, it's kind of up to you whether or not you have the time. Because no matter what you're doing with your life, you can always make the time for the things that you love. Maybe. I don't know. I guess it depends on your life circumstances, your family, things of that nature. So anyway, that's the third reason you might not have the time. All right, so I changed locations because I really wanted to think about this last part, which is, if it's so abstract and if it's so hard and if it takes so much time and if it's so random and if it's so crazy, why would you continue to do this? Like, why should you absolutely continue to post videos constantly on YouTube if you're not going to make any money, if you're not going to find any kind of financial success, if you're not going to be a real entrepreneur and be able to earn a living doing this? Well, because the thing is, the more you work, the better you get. And the more you continue to research, the more you learn. And the more you learn, the more of a complete human being you become. And that just makes you so much better at everything, like relationships, work, taking care of yourself. It just makes you better. So in the case of me, like, I'm kind of somewhere in between a filmmaking YouTuber and an artist YouTuber, and I don't know, trying to inspire people to get a process together and work hard and, you know, get themselves in some kind of a, you know, regimentation where they can feel like they're progressing every day. I mean, whatever it is, I don't really find that I have found a very specific niche, but I don't think it's really all that necessary because I don't have any expectations. Like, you know, a good example is the last video that I did, or maybe it's 2 videos ago, because I've been posting so much it's hard for me to keep track. But, you know, I've been averaging anywhere from 40 to 120 views with these videos. Now, I have videos over the years that people put up of me doing performances and things like that that have gotten tons of views and stuff like that. But in some cases, I didn't even know that they were posted. Like, it wasn't about trying to be a YouTuber, you know. But since I've been trying to do this and you know, I intended at the beginning to try and monetize my channel so I can make some extra money, because the pandemic kind of changed my life. I've been averaging somewhere between 50 and say maybe 120 views, but suddenly I had a video the other day that had like 600 views all of a sudden, like, I don't know, 500 or 600 views, and I have no idea why that happened. Oh, and then I put out a video right after that, and suddenly I was back to like 45 views. And so I have no idea why that happens. I feel like I'm having, you know, I'm giving interesting content. I am including good B-roll. I'm improving constantly with the work that I'm doing, but I have no idea about, you know, how I'm going to get to the point of having 1,000 people subscribe and get enough watch hours or whatever. I have no idea, but I do know this. I know that I'm getting much better at what I'm doing, and I also know that it's like giving me some kind of focus and some kind of goals while I'm doing all the other things that I'm doing in my life, which is, you know, I'm working on a new film, I'm working on a new play, I'm doing a lot of things, and this YouTube stuff is really helping me to get that done. I'm going to stop for a second because there's a garbage truck coming here right now. Anyway, sorry about that. I just I felt like they were coming right where I was sitting. And so anyway, back to my train of thought. I just wanted to say that it is totally worthwhile, in my opinion, to continue to do this all the time, whether you get subscribers, whether you're able to monetize or not. I think it's totally worth modeling other people who are having success at this, figuring out what they do and doing all the research and, you know, just doing everything the right way and really just putting in the work. You know, that's the most important thing, is to put in the work no matter what you do, because that's going to make you better at whatever you do. And the thing is this also, as you're modeling other people, don't try to copy anybody, okay? Because if you have even a slight chance of perhaps having monetary success at YouTube, here's the thing, in my humble opinion, model other people, see what they're doing, study the Peter McKinnons of the world and the Marcus Brownlees of the world and people like that. Like, really study them and try to understand what they're doing. But then throw it all away and speak from your own voice and really find what it is that you want to share with the world, what it is that you want to see, what it is that you do. You know, because the thing is, The only way that you're going to be successful at this is if people resonate with what you're saying, if you resonate with other people, if they want to come back and see you. The only reason people are going to come back to you is because they can only get what you're sharing. You know, in other words, if you try to be exactly like everybody else, especially people who are already pretty successful at this, why would they come back and see you? They can get it from somebody who they already trust and already know to give them quality, meaningful content. So the thing is, learn how to do it, learn how to do it well, but then figure out what it is that is unique about you, that is unlike anybody else. Like, you got to figure out who are you and what are you willing to share that is different than anybody else, you know, because the thing is, nobody can do you better than you. Nobody can express what you feel better than you. And so that's all I want to say. It is totally worth it. It's worth it just to simply do the work and get better and put in your 10,000 hours. You know, 10,000 hours is what they say that it takes to master anything. Put in your 10,000 hours, try to figure out a niche, and if you can't find a niche, just continue to do it anyway, because you're going to become better at the least at making videos, and you'll probably become better as you find what it is that you're interested in at that thing that you have found. You'll become better at that. And, you know, in my opinion, that is a life well lived. And so that's why we're here. So who knows? Maybe you'll make $1 million on YouTube. Maybe you'll make no money on YouTube, but either way, you're going to get better. So thanks for watching. Subscribe if you like what I do. Hit the like button is what all the YouTubers say, so if you want to do that, that's cool too. But in the meantime, do the best that you can, stay well, and I'll see you on the next one. Peace.